the Banner Saga, which I also got no idea about it. It seems to be maybe more jeudi. And when I look at the community content, I'm seeing stuff about the Turing test, real photos of cats, and a lot of 2D artwork. So we'll see what it got in store for us. Nice. I like seeing the story from different point of views. The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survive through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun. So no praise the sun? Or on the opposite, do praise the sun when there's some sunlight? Well, without the sun, there's no sunlight, so I don't know.
It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Hverfið á braut! Engan eigi ég hlut að máli þessu!
Drive just in time. Alright, remove the screen to a link, let me check my expectations. Alright, so it's going to be turn-based RPG? Strategical RPG, like FF Tactics?
like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and Verre slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade, quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off, it just grows a new head. I'm in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
I'm approached by a familiar man who works in step with me as I'm leaving the great hall. He cuts to the chase. Eric, steward of Strand, I manage the governor's business. You been, isn't it? It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. What did you have in mind? Skull things that you didn't pack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Click the market tent to visit the merchant. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stores. Colored canvases flap on a brainy current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Skullfling chieftain bled out about an hour ago. So when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Eric needs some help here. I don't have the patience for this. Eric needs some help here. I had a shame of heart. I hope you do give us a hard time. Sweats visibly fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. I just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just little food money, yeah? You motion to Gunnuf, a Morgus beggar who looms over the man like a snake over a mouse. Gods, Eric, laying it's a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the skull things? Nobleman up by East Wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Skulks away with the waves of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? No, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. You look good. I'm glad you care. Gunnulf goes off to look at more stores. Eric, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Skullfing. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old hounds, not new ones. Nobleman is a mid-hall? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of those skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Do we have an approach of some sort? Where's this place again? After this, I'm done here. What a luxury. Come on, you've already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual teeth. I'll remind him. You got great morale. You arrive in front of what must be nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Volgard. I point them out. Eric says over his shoulder, "Ready? Let's get it over with." "That's the spirit," says Volgar. "Okay, here we go." Volgar boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken scalfings scrambles to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead stains in the process. War. +1 armor to adjacent allies and serve. Oh no! Oh no! Phew. He's not dead. He's not dead. Whew. Just injured. There they are. God be damned. I've got to wash off this blood. Eric is looking out the hall's window to the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner in a well, Wagner. Next forward kingship last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long. Things makes a little more sense. You hoped I'll have a stake in seeing everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the great halls before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? What is it? If you happen to store our guests down on the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valga hustle from the mid-house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrival down the docks. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Gods, Ubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if this is Wagner, there must be Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yucks. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Your wonder demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Aberang, in fact. And glad for it. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden wolf head emblazoned on red, the king of men or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit this capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliance these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim? I had the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should give it a day. In better circumstances I'll drink a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. Oh, welcome back, Deviate. This is the Banner Saga. So it's a kind of a tactical RPG, like Final Fantasy Tactics kind of vibes. Well, not kind of vibes, because it's really different. It's obviously a Viking game. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Morgr? Hakon? Have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few, others as strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Morgr. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think? Weariness suddenly settles in and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Vognir's caravan tomorrow, it may not hurt to share a drink with Hakon, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. Scrivener. You find Hakon in a mid-house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for Fleggen? Vognir is the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlement that gives me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a yolk's fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deed, known as his for cutting a swath through dredge at Vognir's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mid-house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. Let's see the other one. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Lodin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Place Lodin. Yes, you're with Vognir? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Vognir a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Lodin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithe to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Just to introduce myself, I hope to learn more about you. I have a habit of recalling history. I thought we might talk about your visit. That last one seems more interesting. A Var historian? Haha. Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting through the cities. Been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Lodin takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ingratious, you are uncertain. Maybe both. A formality, mostly. Vognir came to our capital in Arberen, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grofheim to cement this joint alliance for the next age of men and Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damn cold up here. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Is this a visual novel? No, it's... well, you got elements of it, I suppose? And now I got... oh, Great Hall, here we go. -1 supplies. You got 20 renown. Let's go. Because you're right, in a sense, I've been reading a lot and not playing a lot. Oh, former gracious friend, the governor of Strain. Horse spice, worker slaughters, me dispatched through camp. Well, let's toast to Vognir. Others join in. Others laugh at your exaggerations. You sit down by the Vognir. Let's chat with him. Thanks for the speech, throws Vognir. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Mog, I thought the damn governor wouldn't never shut up. Give you the history of his entire family, he tried and he asked me to clean up his mess for your benefit, turns out. I've given the job to you two gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of what happens after this business with Ludin, hopefully the boy goes back to Aberrang on his own and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like Hakan. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Don't you miss the fight, Obin? Don you made instead of replying, Vognir stretches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge. But this pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be warriors would follow you for what you've done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, Oldvar. We've already been muddy, Vognir. Better wake up, you're needed. Yes, can I have something to do? Decent sized map. Okay. Resting camp to heal. Okay. Okay, so he rested now.
Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
voilà. I think I'm gonna stop there for now. Haven't played a lot. There's a lot of lore and story going on at the beginning. But I can appreciate the system. Haven't seen much that's really novel though. But anyway, today we're going to finish with